I
Dan,
like.
you don't have a figure, do you, Mr. Administrator?
A figure of,
How much this is going to lower world temperature or reduce the progression of CO2 in the United States?
I don't have a figure in front of me that
You don't have it, do you?
specifies how much in isolation this bill lowers the world temperature based on just U.S. participation.
Right. So we're just going to spend $2.3 trillion and find out
I
on
think
a wing and a prayer?
I think the American Jobs Plan.
Welcome to Capital Insights. Today I'm breaking down an explosive Senate hearing that reveals something shocking about climate change spending. Senator John Kennedy just asked the tough questions that most politicians avoid, and what he uncovered will blow your mind. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and let's dive right in.
Authorities and other powers.
But why are we doing this if we don't understand, haven't done modeling to show how much it's going to lower world temperature or lower the progression of CO2 emissions and methane?
I think, Senator, we're doing this because the jobs plan proves that we're doing more than just focusing on climate, that we're positioning ourselves to be global leaders on technology.
I get all that,
as well.
Mr. Administrator. I'm not trying to just pick on you, but
Sure.
this is what Deputy Foreign Minister Li Zhongqing said last week of China on April 16th. Quote, "Some countries are asking China to do more on climate change. I'm afraid this is not realistic." So China produces about a third of the world's, really about 28% to be fair, of the world's CO2, okay? They're not going to participate, and we're going to spend $2.3 trillion. A lot of it is climate change. Surely you can give us an estimate of how much it's going to slow the progression of CO2 and how much it's going to lower world temperature.
Well, I'm not quite sure I take the statement at face value from the Chinese representative.
Well, maybe he's a liar, but let's put that aside.
China's investing a lot of money in renewable energy and battery storage and being globally competitive in the very areas that this job bill
I understand.
highlights.
You don't have a figure, do you, Mr. Administrator?
A figure of,
How much this is going to lower world temperature or reduce the progression of CO2 in the United States?
I don't have a figure in front of me that
You don't have it, do you?
specifies how much in isolation this bill lowers the world temperature based on just U.S. participation.
Right. So we're just going to spend $2.3 trillion and find out
I think
on a wing and a prayer?
I think the American Jobs Plan looks at more than just a prayer and a whim. I think it looks at some really good metrics that shows
Right.
that we can create.
Excuse me for
millions of
interrupting,
jobs.
but I'm about to run out of time. Let me ask. Let me ask let me ask my former colleague, the state treasurer, our new commerce secretary, to build credibility with the Congress, the taxpayers, and his own credibility, as a first step to paying for this $2.3 trillion bill. Why wouldn't President Biden turn to the Congress and say, I want you to take a look at the discretionary spending in your budget and scrub it?
I don't think it's an either or. The president is calling for a historic investment in infrastructure, as you say, $2 trillion. He believes that that's what's necessary. And
What budget reductions is he recommending?
we're all going through our budgets every day and looking for ways that we can be more efficient. But the truth of it is, we need an investment.
Yes, ma'am. How much money do you think you're going to reduce your budget?
Say it again.
How much money do you think you're going to reduce your budget?
I don't have a great answer to that at the moment, but I can promise you it's not enough. We're not going to save our way out of decades of underinvestment.
Chairman.
President Biden has proposed a massive $2.3 trillion infrastructure bill with a huge climate change component. But Senator Kennedy did something remarkable. He asked the simple question nobody else would. How much will this actually lower global temperatures? The administrator's response? Basically nothing. No specific numbers, no concrete data, just vague talk about job creation and global leadership. If you're thinking, wait, what? You're not alone. Kennedy points out that China, which produces about 28% of global CO2 emissions, basically said, Nope, we're not playing this game. A Chinese deputy foreign minister flat out stated that expecting China to do more on climate change is not realistic, so we're looking at spending trillions while a major global polluter sits on the sidelines. Crazy, right? When pressed about actual temperature reduction, the administrator had no answer. Zero. Zilch. They couldn't provide a single model showing how this massive spending would impact global temperatures. It's like buying an expensive car without knowing if it actually drives. Kennedy then switched tactics, asking about budget cuts to offset this massive spending. The response? More vagueness. The administrator basically admitted they weren't planning significant budget reductions, instead calling this a necessary investment. Look, whether you're pro-climate action or skeptical, this hearing reveals something crucial. We need transparency. Trillions of dollars are on the line, and right now, there's more confusion than clarity. What do you think? Drop a comment below, smash that subscribe button, and let's keep asking the hard questions together.